Hi, Chris Handler here, your whole house home inspections. Today the video we're going to do is about rekeying the locks. In the other videos we replaced the garage door with a fire rated door, and we used the original knob set that is keyed like to the rest of the entry doors to the house, but we had to purchase a new deadbolt lock for it, which came with the factory key, which is not of the same key. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to go ahead and take these apart and show you how to rekey locks. Should be very quick and simple. First thing I want to show you is the knob set lock. It's like I said, it's already keyed, but I want to show you the disassembly on it. These are Kwikset locks, the most common locks that we have in residential construction. You'll see these in really a whole lot of houses around town. So we'll take this apart and see how that works. We've got a keying kit here that comes with the tools to take these things apart, and it has all the assorted pins, and we'll go over those in a few. First things first, there's an input shaft here, and that's what the key's hooked up to, but also the interior side of the knob has a little knob that you turn to lock and unlock the door from the interior side is attached to this shaft, and that's what we need to remove first. So with the pointy end of the tool, we just turn this to the center position. And then behind the one pin here where the screw goes in to hold the knob in place, put that behind there, give it a twist, and that releases a little catch that holds the shaft in, and the shaft should just pull right out. Yes, no, maybe. Let's turn this a couple times. And that's the shaft that pops out. It takes a little finagling. Sometimes they pop right out, sometimes you have to kind of work them a little bit. Now we need to pull the tumbler side or the cylinder side of that out. On the other end of the tool, there's a little V cut, and you just slide that back into where that shaft was, and then once it's in there, you can just kind of push and whip, and out comes your key set. So you can set that off to the side. There's two little prongs there that holds this in place, and that's what that little V cut does, is squeezes them together and just pops those out. So with the Kwikset locks and a lot of the other manufacturers, if you don't have the key to the lock, there is, once you disassemble it, there is a little shiny metal plate on top, and you can actually pop that off with a screwdriver, and then you'll see the series of 5 holes, and there'll be 5 springs exposed. Then below that there's the 5 locking pins, and then the bottom pins are the pins that actually your key rides up and down to move this into position to let the unit turn. The locking pins are all square cut, and then all the pins that your keys ride on will have little bevel cuts so that the key slides in and out easily on that. Reassembly, just reverse order. You take your tool back out. And what you want to do is you want to set it so that the cut edge of your key is aiming up, and then you just set that back into position, snaps in just like that, and then you take your shaft and slide that in, and locks in, and you're good to go. And that's how you reassemble your knob set. What we're going to do next is we're going to do the deadbolt lock, and really no assembly there, it just kind of sets in that trim ring. And the assembly on this, you do have a little E-clip here in the back, and you just, again with the V cut of the tool, you just kind of push that forward a little bit, and then it opens up the gap, and you can pop that out there, and you can see that it's shaped much like the letter E. It's got a little center pin to it. And then the back shaft comes off, and the back shaft again is what goes through the door, and then your knob on the interior side is what turns and locks and unlocks the deadbolt from the inside. Okay, so the easy thing is with this, since we do have the key for the lock, you can see you can turn that. Once you have that E-clip out, you got to be really careful about this once you insert the key, because that does unlock the cylinder, and you don't want to pull it out, then all of your other pins and springs shoot out, and then actually you typically end up bending up the springs. So once you have it unlocked, you have the key in, you turn it to about the 3 o'clock position, and then you have another little tool, and this little tube, and it's beveled on the inside of that, and all you do is just what I do is put a little pressure on the key there, and then take this tube and then just slide it through. And then what that does is that holds all of your locking pins and your springs in place. Very simple. This is the actual cylinder, and you can see when you move the key in and out, I don't know maybe from the video or not, but there's 5 little pins that raise up and down, and that's what lines everything up and allows us to turn inside that. So we don't need those pins, so I'm going to dump those out off to the side. And that key is now goes in the scrap pile with all the other extra keys I've had over the years of rekeying locks. Now this is my new key. It works with the other lock, and that's all ready to go. So what we're going to do is you have to measure each one of those cuts. So there's going to be 5 cuts that, stair steps up and down on that. So there's another little tool here, and it has little cuts in it, and in each one of those cuts it has a number designating as 1 through 7 on there. So what we're going to do is measure the first cut on that, and then we're going to pull the appropriate size pin out, which is a number 6. And put that, oops. We're going to put that into the small hole there, the first one. We're going to stick the key in, just double check, make sure everything's nice and flush on the top so you don't have any hang-ups or anything like that. And then we'll go to the next one. Double check that. Perfect. And then the fourth one. 6. The interesting thing on the key measurer, the cut measurer, is that it goes up to 7, and actually Kwikset doesn't use a 7 pin that I've seen as of yet. So they're always typically 1 through 6 is what all the cuts are going to be. And then the last one is 5. Oops. And that one seems to be a little high. I think I might have the pins mixed up a little bit, and it kind of happens with these pin kits get moved around a lot over the years. There we go. That's a good fit right there. So it's all ready for the new key. So I'm actually going to leave that out. And then when you're reinserting again, you want to turn the key over to either the 3 o'clock position or 9 o'clock position. And then we're just going to slide that back through. And then we're going to turn it. And you hear the clicks and all the pins have locked in. Now it's a locked lock. So then we just put the shaft back in. And their little E-clip. I'm going to give this a little squeeze to make sure that they fit in nice and tight and snug. Don't want these things coming apart on you over years of use. And we'll try our key out. Nice and smooth. Perfect. Put it back in the trim ring. And now both of our locks are ready to be reinstalled back into the door. So it's pretty quick and easy. It only takes a few minutes to do that. Obviously always take your time, and if somebody else can do it, so can you. The way it comes apart, the way it goes back together again. Hope that was informative for you, kind of get you to see how easy it is, and it'll save you a whole lot of money. I've talked about the kits. Now this one is a little bit larger of a kit. Again, I got this from a locksmith many years ago, and I don't know what the lock count is, but what I do is always save my pins and measure each one and put them back in their spots, and really you can almost keep endless amounts of pins and be able to rekey locks. And of course always keep all the extra keys I've had over the years. You never know if you ever want to change your locks for whatever reason. On the keying kits, I did a little search around the internet, and Amazon has a bunch of keying kits for the Slag, Baldwin, and obviously for Kwiksets. And they do have small kits, are about $10, and they say you can rekey 4 to 5 locks with that. So for $10, and most houses typically have 2 to 3 doors, it's a very, very, very easy and inexpensive thing that you can do yourself without having to go out and buy all new lock hardware and everything else when you purchase a new home. So that is all I have for you today, and like I said, I hope it was informative for you, and hope you watch some more of our other videos, and certainly hope you give us a call to help with your home inspection needs. Thanks.